Yeah, so this is a quick little video. I wanted to make this video and talk about Wes Watson. Now, sure, he said a lot of stupid things and he pissed off a lot of people in the early days, and he's got a lot of hate out there. And more recently, I just totally disagree with everything that's been happening out there with this guy. You've got you've got so many influencers out there hating on him and driving a lot of hate towards him to the point where people basically threatening him, and these influencers basically convinced, whether they want to take responsibility or not, they convinced some idiot who started, imagine being an idiot that you see someone online and you're like, oh, I hate this person, so I'm gonna go after them. And that's what happened. This idiot started messaging Wes Watson and then turns up to his gym, pulls out his phone, sets the phone down, and he's gonna not only threaten him online but turn up to physically assault him in person. And if anybody in the world threatens a random person and then stalks them, tracks them down, and then sets up a camera to capture their crime attacking somebody. And imagine if this guy, who's massive, by the way, he's a huge dude, like 7 foot tall, and Wes Watson's like 5'8", 5'9", or something like that. So, it wouldn't even be a fair fight as is. So the guy that turned up is not only abusing some random person he doesn't know on the internet, tracking him down like a stalker, and then threatening a total stranger. But he's also, if this was the UFC or boxing or anything, it wouldn't even be a fair fight. The guy's like 7 foot tall, probably 120 kilos. He's probably got 20 kilos or 30 kilos on Wes Watson. That's not a fair fight. Not to mention the fact that you're tracking him down, catching him off guard, setting up a camera to assault him. Now, all of the hate and all of the people making all these videos about him, what if this big 7 foot tall guy was able to isolate Wes Watson and assault him and hurt him? No doubt everybody else would be jumping on the bandwagon going, yeah, he got what he deserved. So you drive a lot of hate to the guy, people turn up and assault him, and then no doubt people will be cheering that. But the total stranger messages him, turns up, stalks him, sets up a camera to assault Wes Watson, capture it, hoping to become famous for getting the guy that everyone's attacking online, and it backfires. You abuse a stranger, you stalk the stranger, you turn up to assault the stranger in a private business, and you try to film the assault, and you get fucked up, and then what happens is the entire internet is basically backing the person who tried to assault him. What if you turned up and assassinated Wes Watson? Would they still be cheering? Is anyone going to take responsibility for this? If I was to stalk someone, abuse them, then stalk them, then turn up and try to film myself assaulting them, and I get fucked up, I deserve to get fucked up. That's the consequence of his actions. So as far as I'm concerned, the piece of shit that turned up to try and assault this Wes Watson guy, regardless of what you think about his views or his opinions on masculinity, the guy's not really doing anything other than talking a lot of shit online and telling men to do whatever he's saying. He's like, lift weights, go harder, do some burpees. the more I see this, I see what is basically a little proper alpha male, Wes Watson, that's probably like 5'8" or whatever, basically facing down the entire internet to the point where people are trying to track him down and kill him in the gym, and he's still standing strong, standing up for himself, and facing down the entire internet. I'm now a Wes Watson fan, in fact, because he's far more of an alpha male than any of the pussies making videos about him. And as an Australian, I always support the underdog. I always respect when there's one man taking on a large group of people. Not many people know about the history of Australia, but we have a guy by the name of Ned Kelly. You can search him up. He put on a helmet. He actually manufactured his own steel helmet and steel plate, and he faced down the police. He tried to take on the government, and he died taking on basically the police force. And Ned Kelly, for like 100 years, is a hero in Australia by people like myself who believe in freedom and the underdog, you know, the blue collar person fighting back against the machine. And what I see now is, in the early days, I just thought, I didn't really think much of this Wes Watson guy. I didn't really know much about him. But now, what I see is, I see Wes Watson as a Ned Kelly type hero, standing up against the internet of trolls and the weak-minded pussies that want to go and track down some stranger they don't even know and try to assault or assassinate or murder Wes Watson. And he's not breaking. I now follow the guy on Instagram. And I recommend you do the same. After what just happened, if anyone's still making videos about Wes Watson, they've got it backwards, because in fact, it's him versus the internet. He's the underdog, and that is the Rocky Balboa. That's the Ned Kelly. That's the football team that nobody thought would win. The shitty football team at the beginning of the season that eventually somehow wins the final, wins the World Series. That's the underdog, and that's someone who I respect. He's literally taking on the internet. He's carrying it all on his shoulders. He doesn't give a fuck. That's someone to learn from. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.